a new thing with my lighting, a little bit of seeing how things come out on the videos. And I do have some new videos up if you are so inclined. So settling yourself wherever you feel is the right place to be in this moment. And I always say that because it's really a training for on the mat, off the mat. It's always sort of that kind of training where you're deciding what is the best way to be in this moment. Reach up out of the crown of the head and just see how you can bring yourself up taller, reaching up or lying down, feeling the length of the body, constructive rest or shavasana. And then there's always sitting on the edge of a chair, on a couch, on anything that you want. And just demystifying the understanding of meditation where you're supposed to sit up tall on the floor, because it's not necessary. There are hundreds of ways to meditate. When I'm seated like this, I like to bring my thumb and my forefinger together in Gyan Mudra for mental clarity. And it's about what we're doing here is coming fully present in this moment. This moment's really all we have. We don't really know anything. So the great mystery is upon us in every moment. I close my eyes, but you can keep your eyes open. That's the Buddhist way, so that you learn to clear out all of the possible disruption around you. And you might need that skill at some time. So it's a good one to practice. You might need it when there's so much chaos around you that you need to just work with that your visual chaos is there. So then you're breathing, relaxing as best you can. Breathe, relax, and feel this moment. So you're feeling, what are you feeling? You're feeling physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, relational. You're feeling your whole self in this moment. You're also feeling just that physical, the air that touches your skin, the breath as it goes in and out of the body, the way that your body touches the floor, where it touches the floor and where it doesn't. You're looking at the shape that your body makes. If your eyes are open, then you're seeing your peripheral vision. You're bringing in that information as you're just breathe, relax, feel, witness. You're witnessing yourself. What does that mean to witness yourself? Do you have other thoughts going on? Are you actually consciously going, how do I feel? How does my body feel? Do a body scan. Are you thinking? Or are you just being present with what is? And all the teachings in every tradition say what is. And, we change our thoughts, when a thought comes in and it says what is a feeling of depression, then you decide, okay, how do I change that thought? I feel depressed. Well, then you go, well, is it true? Can I be different? Breathe gratitude through your heart and it will change things a lot. You're physically exhausted. Yes, okay, so surrender. You have to sleep. Surrender. That's part of this, the universal truths too, is, to listen to the truth within yourself and then react and say, okay, I'm going to have patience. I'm going to surrender to what is. Surrender, have patience, and have faith. What's the faith? Where does that come from? It usually comes from our heart, usually comes from our gratitude. Faith. It's not religious faith, although you might have religious faith. You might have a power, a spirit guide who's been in your life since you were really little that came through your religion, because they're ascended masters in every religion that did become present on the planet. And we know that those systems are broken. So in many ways, some of the systems are broken, and so they also are breaking down. We know that we have a universal spirituality. And then acceptance, patience, surrender, faith, and self-acceptance for the moment as it is. And that part of surrendering sometimes is self-acceptance, that I feel a certain way and I need to just stop, or I need to just go away from my surroundings, or not see people, or whatever it is. It's part of the journey, and we come out of that process stronger, more resilient, when we go and we take the time and space to retreat. Also, it's a reflection of novelty. Sometimes to shift our consciousness, we need something new. We need to get out of our space and do something different. And that's one of the things Pema Chodron always says, is that to get unstuck, you get unstuck by doing something different. Now that could be body, mind, spirit difference, or that can be, physically, okay, I'm going to do something different I've never done before. So breathe, relax, feel, witness yourself, and the art of allowing, the allowing of what is to be what it is. Then to bring joy into the moment, and that comes also with the gratitude. Breathe gratitude through the heart. Feel that expansion of the heart. Think of all the things you're to be grateful for in this moment, that we just have to overflow with gratitude. Sparkle every one of your cells with the sparkling light of gratitude. And remember that ultimately, from a physics point of view, you are an electromagnetic being emitting light, and that all is one. We're one big light, and this planet is shining that light. And you can look at and study our sun, and you can know that we are shining the light of the sun. We are shining the light of the electromagnetism that is present in the electromagnetic spectrum. And we are the rainbow. Take that in. Be that. Now, I can say that while sitting on the mat, but when I'm going to go walk through my life, I have to consciously remember and go, I am light. I am a rainbow. I am light. I am a rainbow. And I am full of gratitude, overflowing, touching every one of my cells, enlivening me to know that there's something awesome that's going to happen to me today. And that awesomeness can be as tiny as a new sprout that you might see, or the little signs of spring, or can it be as big as being able to see that green comet with a clear sky? And at the same time, as we fill with gratitude, we hold in our hearts. So we bring the fingertips together and strengthen our whole being with this mudra that strengthens the rainbow that we are. Thumbs at the heart, thumbs to the third eye, and that's the imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration, that are these four very complex, multidimensional sensory perceptions that within which hold hundreds of sensory perceptions. And we want to hold in our hearts through namaste, hands to the heart in prayer position. May I be free from suffering and pain. May I be happy and joyful. May I experience compassion and kindness. And may I know my true nature, that is love. And then for another person, just send it to someone who you really want to send this to. May you be free from suffering and pain. May you be happy and joyful. May you experience compassion and kindness. And may you know your true nature. That is love. And then take the difficult person. And you can practice it with anyone. You can practice with the somebody who helped you, but actually didn't, have the best personality, or who represented that negativity that you're really trying to preserve yourself from. And you send that message to them. May you be free from suffering and pain. May you be happy and joyful. May you experience compassion and kindness. May you know your true nature, which is love. And then for all those who are suffering around the world, and we're going to take that to all beings, because all beings include all humanity, all of humanity. And there's so much suffering around the world for all of this, for all of the beings that live on this planet that we call alive. And when you look at it from an energy point of view, then everything is alive. It's all electromagnetic energy. It's all atoms in motion with a lot of empty space. Even the rocks. So in my tradition, we have the rock beings. So you might bless the rock beings. So blessings, may all beings be free from suffering and harm. May all beings be happy and joyful. May all beings experience compassion and kindness. May all beings know their true nature. That is love. And we've looked at that word love, and we expand it to the more powerful gratitude, appreciation, caring, and compassion, starting with ourselves. And those 4 words, and you can put love within that, or you could use love as the umbrella for all of that. And have all those words within that umbrella. Gratitude, compassion, caring, and appreciation. Knowing our true nature, which is love. Because love has been used as a word for light, for gratitude, for God, for the great mystery, for the earth, for nature. It has been used to describe all of that. Then take a deep breath in and open the arms up above your head to remind us that below us is the Earth Star Chakra. Then we have all these star chakras all the way through the body, and then we have a chakra, stars, like suns. And the sun, the soul star chakra, the seat of the soul, the universe chakra, which is like a conduit to the galaxy. And the galactic chakra, reminding us that we're not separate. This is new thinking. We're changing our brain. And then out to the universe chakra, which is the divine gateway chakra, which is, from the seat of the soul, where you get touched by the divine through the opening of the seat of the soul, through this kind of conduit that takes us out to the truth of the divine, which is much bigger than ourselves. And just taking a moment to honor that. We have a whole new vibrational energy we are embodying during the age of Aquarius. Then bring your hands back to your heart and release that and lengthen out the legs. And today's practice, we're going to want a strap, but we're just going to start by lengthening out the legs anywhere you are, seated, lying down, and shake them out, like really shake them. So we're going to shake our bodies standing down, seated, lying down, I mean. Also, because if you really shake your legs and you can really feel them, you're going to feel a lot shake in there. And roll the ankles and the feet. And remember that we're fascia. And the fascia on the body is not, it almost shows us our duality. One side of the body is not like the other. Usually one side of the body is a dominant side and one's a non-dominant side. And as we get into graceful aging, we have usually had some kind of situation that has caused a difficulty on one side of the body, whether it's an injury or something else. I'm just going to grab my strap. So you can have just a cloth strap. You can have, any kind of fabric that works as a strap. Now I'm going to bring myself down and pull the knees in. Now, these are all, how do you come to the moment after you might do a meditation? And remember, we mentioned Insight Timer on Friday. Insight Timer is a great collection of various kinds of meditations. You could meditate all day with different kinds of meditations. There's so many. There's thousands of ways to meditate. So roll the knees in the other direction. Just this is a meditation. So you can come down on the floor when in doubt and just roll the knees in a circle and remind yourself that in the Kundalini yoga tradition, the snake lives in the sacrum. And we're working with the sacrum, which comes from the word sacred. And just understanding a little bit about the evolving human, and know that we can work with this area of the body and wake up the transformation inside of us. You can use your imagination there in the third eye chakra, the imagination, and make images. Then bring the knees up to your chest. To bring the head to the chin to the chest and the knees as far as they'll go. And I always work with this, but while you have a strap, you can always use your strap to pull in. And then you can use your strap to pull here too, come into happy baby, but you don't have to hold the toes or hold the pants. The strap is such a good tool. And you bend the knees and you're going to open the legs. You're going to feel that a little bit more. With a strap, you can do a lot of other things. So we're going to play with that today. You can use the strap or not, but we're going to drop the strap for a minute, shake everything out, and really shake. Remember, and we're paying more attention to the legs today. And look at how you might feel the fascia of the legs. Are they tight? What's happening in the ankles and the wrists? So check out toes. Can you point your toes? Do you have any injuries that happened in your feet? I know for me, I've had broken toes, and you know what? I don't know that I'll ever not feel them. I think I always feel them a little bit. Make fists and make, kind of clench your toes, and then take your hands and spread them out. Reach up with hands and feet. Reach up, reach. Point the toes, point the hands. Then with your hands, flex the feet, flex the hands. Then pull the knees in. Take a deep breath in and out. Then grab your strap and bring the legs up straight. Now we haven't done everything with the strap, so with the strap, you can do this, and you can also always be near a wall, and you can also bring the legs out. And if you have a long enough strap, you can put your elbows on the floor and straighten the legs out to the sides and feel this posture with the legs up. Now you can do this also seated on the floor, not really on a chair, and the strap isn't as easy to use on a chair. Then bring before we do the rest of the leg stretch series, let's get our abdominals a little bit engaged. And one of the things we do is just engage them. So press into the lower back and squeeze at the pelvic floor, and that's all you need. That engagement, you can feel it. Hands behind your head if you want to feel it a little bit more, and exhale as you bring your shoulders up. Press into the lower back and squeeze at the pelvic floor though, and bring the knees up maybe in table position or lengthen them out. Some people can lower them down because their abdominals are so strong. Exhale, exhale. I really need this because I don't really do it on the days that we don't do yoga. And I want to, but I don't have the discipline. And then hold the posture. And so that's a good witnessing of myself. And for me to say that out loud is even better, just so I'm saying it out loud. And then pull the knees in. Now, knee to elbow, you all know this from before. Again, you can do really gentle. This is just you cross your brain. When you cross your arms and you cross your legs, it's called the cross crawl. You can do it standing, making sure that when you're walking, you're cross crawl. a lot of times people put their hands in their pockets so their brain isn't like crossing. And elbows. You can also just have your foot on the floor, bring the elbow up, and you want to exhale on each side. I like to lengthen out my leg because I can, but if you can't, don't do that. It's just not worth the try. Just try it and see, can I lengthen out my leg? Exhale on both sides. Go at your own pace. And if that means just lifting up and being slow, and lifting up and being slow, take a breath and take a breath. Or, knees bent and you go slow, then go slow. You've got to find your own place. You've got to be true to yourself. And then hold one side, take a breath, and hold the other side. And take a breath and pull the knees in. Okay, now that we've played with that, here we go with a strap. Now, if you have a strap with a loop, our first posture here is to take just the right leg, and you can do the loop. It works really well, but if you don't have a loop, then both hands work too. If it's long enough, you can bring your elbows down to the floor. If it's not, then you have to choke up on the strap. You also can decide to hold the strap in a variety of ways. I'm going to do the loop today. I've been trying to, every time we do this, I try to show it a little different. But the loop, you can also take the strap and wrap it around your wrist, and you can choke up, or you can come bring it down. And here we start with active isolated stretching. Now, if you're evaluating the connection between foot, ankle, knee, and hip, pay attention to all the little things you're feeling in the movement or in how it's working. Do you feel a clicking? Do you feel a little bit of a twinge in certain areas? And this active isolated stretching is really a retraining before we hold it, because holding is a little harder on a joint. So we lengthen up, and you feel that foot. If you can, your strap is on the ball of your foot, and you can work with the Achilles tendon a little bit. You can work all the way down the back of the leg and feel what's going on here, to see, to observe yourself in the details of the leg. And then once we do this leg stretch series, to find out how it feels to walk on our legs. So lengthening it out and holding. Now, how long you hold is again a process to understand. And maybe you need to bend your knees and relax it a little bit, and then you can come back up. Now, if you can do this whole series up against a wall, and you don't need to even have a strap, or you can use the strap as a support. Now, my left foot is flat on the floor because it's better for my lower back. But if you feel like your flexibility in that right leg, which I'm doing first, if you feel like the flexibility is like you can get that leg almost perpendicular to the floor, to the ceiling, then you can lengthen out that left leg. But not for me. I can't do that anymore. Graceful aging, surrender, acceptance for what is. Now, the second posture is to lengthen out that right leg, that left leg, and come down to the side. Now, you can use your elbow, and you can wrap that, and you can use two hands to hold that. And it's really, you don't want to roll over to the side, and you can hold the leg up with a block. And again, blocks and cushions actually sometimes will help you stretch, allow the stretch, giving it a little extra support. You don't want to take that left hip off the floor. You want to ground that into the floor. Now remember that the legs are the earth. The legs hold our foundation. They hold our family story. They hold our birth. The legs, there's so much to the legs from a yoga therapy point of view. And then when we feel ungrounded, the legs can give out. You know, we don't feel like we have a foot to stand on. You know, we have statements like that. You know, I can't stand on my legs, or I don't have anything to stand on. I don't have the grounding. Now, this will also strengthen your arm. If you're using your arm, it'll strengthen your bicep by putting the elbow into the floor if you're using one hand. Watch out for the wrists, though. If you need that, then just hold both hands. The wrists are straight, and you just, use two hands. Finding the breath as you're going and just going back to the breath. I know I'm coaching a lot, but you don't have to speak, so you can go to the breath. Then I'm going to take the block and put it between my legs so that I can go to the other side. My left hand takes the strap, but also it could be just that my left and right hand take the strap. You want to look at your leg and see if your hip, your knee, and your ankle are in alignment, and if your foot's not twisted, because a tendency is to like pull the foot to the left, and you want that free. Now, if you don't feel like you need the block, you might be able to go a little bit further, and you'll feel, you'll feel this whole iliotibial band all the way down into the peroneus muscle, down in here. So you're really evaluating. There's a lot of musculature, and a lot of these muscles, they all have tendons. And then you've got all these ligaments in the knee, and you're checking it out. And you've got the cartilage in the knee too. So you're really, working with what is it going on, and who am I in my legs? Now, if something's changing in your life, sometimes the legs will do weird things, or the pelvis. And then bring that leg up, that right leg, place the left foot on the floor, cross the ankle. Now you can use the strap here between the legs and pull in. You can also, there's so many ways to work with this. You can be on a chair and just cross the right ankle over the left. You can take the hands and lace the fingers behind the left leg. Let the shoulders pull forward. Let the head do whatever it needs to do. Some of you are, I know, using a small cushion under the head. Sometimes, like, my head tilts back a little bit and it feels good, but not everybody's will do that. Some people can have a flat head on the floor. Little scoliosis will cause different ways that the upper body, if it's in my thoracic spine, so that will change things in how my spine will work. You can also put your hands on top of the knee. If you have the flexibility and you can still put your head down, you can put your hands on top of that knee. Now you can just hang here. And again, I didn't show this, but there's so many ways and so many modifications. You can put that left foot on a block, and you're still going to get a better stretch of this pelvis in the hip flexors, and then, actually in the piriformis more than anything. You'll feel it. And you can take your fingers and you can press in there and feel that really sore spot there that is the piriformis. And I'm going to rub it a little bit. That's a good one to like sit on top of a tennis ball and work it. It can be the source of a lot of pain down the leg. Then if you want to join me in a little bit of abdominal strengthener, then catch the right hand on the knee, the left hand on the right foot, and then lift the head and raise and lower. And we're strengthening our quad on the left side, breathing with it. We're stretching our hip on the right side a little bit more. We're strengthening our arms. It's a full body workout just to do this. And then hold for a moment. And then let it go. Stretch from the heels of the hands to the heels of the feet. Hold your breath. Oh, and just stretch it out. And then pause for a moment in neutral, whatever neutral is for you. And see how your right side feels versus your left side. Can you just feel the difference? That you've done something to ignite the right side of the body. Then bring the left foot up into the strap. And get ready to do this on the left side. First, the active isolated stretching. And you're breathing with it. So it's inhale and exhale. And you're noticing, okay, do I feel any clicks? Is there anything I feel by doing this particular action? I like to use this canvas strap that I have. I can put it right over the knee and it kind of is an interesting feeling. You may have two hands that you're using. And then hold for a moment after that active isolated stretching. And my right foot is on the floor. But again, if you have the flexibility and you can straighten your leg, if you're feeling your knee bend, it may be that you need the knee to bend, or you may need to lower the leg down so that you're not bringing it up so high. So you want to slowly bring it up, 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 and then decide where do I want to hold this? Flex the foot, check it out, feel the base of the foot. Plantar fasciitis can come up here right at the, right below the ball of the foot. You can, if you have that, it might be sensitive. So you loosen it, you let it go a little bit. Find out where it is is the exact right place to be in this shape. I know my knee, if I go too far, it always wants to make a little bend, and I'm going to lengthen it out and feel what's going on in this knee, behind the knee. And you can always, it's always great to look at the structure inside of our joints, and you see the ligaments and tendons and how they all interact. And and if you know you have a tear in one of them, then you know what you're feeling. I know that I have a repaired ACL, and I know that ever since I've gotten that repair, it's been fine, but, or and, not and is the new but, and I still feel lots of stuff inside my knee. And there's the menisci, and there's the ligament, the cartilage. So the knees are really complicated. Then lengthen out that right leg. And then you're going to take this left one and just bring it down to the side. Again, you can use a cushion or a block to hold it up. You put it at an angle. You're not going to see this on the screen because I'm not changing directions, but it's there. Again, a block will sometimes allow you to let go a little bit more. A block or a cushion, depending on what you need. And so you're just relaxing the rest of the body. So the right side and your right hand, or you're holding the strap with two hands. And if you have wrists that you're taking care of, then you want to take your hand and you want to turn it the right direction. So it's not going to be under the strap. You want to be on top of it. So you have a more straight line with that wrist. And you can flex the foot and just see how it feels. See, how does this side feel? Can you feel the difference? Breathing, relaxing, feeling, witnessing. Then lift that leg up. And again, you can take that block, put it between the legs if you want the support. And if you don't want the support, you keep both, the whole pelvis is on the floor. You're just bringing that leg over to the side. And if you want support, then you use a cushion or a block. And again, you're evaluating the iliotibial band down through the knee, down to the lower leg, tibialis, anterior, posterior, and down into that peroneus muscle. And all of those are just names for these muscles, but within them, it's all these different fibers that are all, if you think about it, they're all fascia. And fascia is a web. You're all covered in this thing like as a web, every cell. And then you get every group of muscles, and then you get every larger muscle, and you've got layers and layers and layers of this interstitium, the largest organ in the body, that is the fascia, which the science of it is remarkably familiar to understanding the images we have for quantum field, which again show us that we're not separate. We're just the quantum field expressing itself. You could say the quantum field is God. God is love. So that all of that we express in these bodies and all the different things we feel are an expression of love. And then lift that leg up, press the foot into the floor, cross the ankle, decide if you're going to use the strap behind the right leg or you're going to put the foot on a block, or you're going to lace the fingers behind the right leg. And again, just feel it. And you'll know we're going to go a little bit longer than 12 o'clock. So, be ready for 5 to 7 after 12. And catch the the left foot with the right hand. If you want to go further and do a little bit of abdominal and quad strengthening, neck and shoulder strengthening, arm strengthening, and your head can be on the floor. Inhale and exhale. And then hold. And just feel the hold, feel the strength, and then let it go. Place the feet flat on the floor and cerebral spinal fluid balancer. Press off from the feet. Bring the knees to one side and the head to the other. So we have our spinal twist. And with this spinal twist, you can decide gentle, moderate, or vigorous. Again, you can just use a block between the knees, or you can use a block or a cushion behind your back. Or you could bring the bottom foot. So you take the right foot, cross it over the left. You can even hold that up with a block, or just let it be and see how the body reacts to that. And there's another dozen ways to come into a spinal twist on the floor. So some of you might know the knee down twist or another twist that you've learned. Breathing, relaxing, feeling, witnessing, allowing, blessing, appreciation, caring, compassion, and gratitude for this moment. Then to the other side. And just feeling that. If you haven't ever tried it, putting the block behind you is a different experience. I really like it because it brings that twist a little bit more to the side. Feet, knees, and thighs on top of each other. The most gentle of twists is feet apart, and the gentler than that is block between your knees. Take a couple breaths here. And then come back to center. We're going to come up into a back bend here with taking the block and putting it underneath the pelvis to come up into the bridge. Now, you don't need to use a block. This would be a restorative posture. You can just hold yourself up there. But in the restorative posture, just bring the block underneath the pelvis. Make sure that it's there and just gently rock your knees and see if you can feel that sacroiliac joint getting a little tiny massage with your feet on the floor. And then bring your legs up. Now, again, you could be legs up the wall. You could have legs bent over a chair. And this legs up is called the supported shoulder stand. Now, if you want to do the full shoulder stand and you have it in you, then you lift your pelvis up, you hold your hands underneath your pelvis, and that's the shoulder stand. And then there's the full shoulder stand where you don't even use your hands to hold you up. You come all the way up to your shoulders with your chin at the chest. So you see that there's an evolution of all of these. Now, bend the knee and flex the point the feet and see how they feel. How do the legs feel? Roll the ankles. Notice how putting a cushion or a block, and a cushion is much more comfortable, but it will still bring your legs up, and they feel kind of like they're weightless. Gravity's pulling all the fascia, all of the cells, all of the water in our body. Gravity is pulling it in a different direction than when we have our feet on the floor. You might feel relief from this. It's a great way to help with the circulation in our feet, is to bring them upside down for a period of time. Then decide whether you want to experiment with a little bit of, while you're up here with your pelvis tilted upward like this, what does it feel like? You stretch the legs with a strap in a different position. You can bring them out into V posture. You can bring them forward. You can work the inner thighs if you want by crossing the ankle, then bringing them out, and pointing the toes will be a little bit stronger. You can do a happy baby from here. You can bend the knees, stretch out in the inner thighs here. You can hold on to your knees under or over. And then the final piece is you can take this posture and lengthen out the legs if it feels okay. Maybe one leg at a time, maybe both legs, maybe not. This is a gentle back bend. Some people can even turn the block on its side or its tip. And then you're bringing that back bend up higher. So I have it just on the flat side of the block. And I like this feeling for a little while, and I like to feel that back bend. And you just keep judging your own timing. So many yoga practices are about holding a posture, but in graceful aging, it's not about holding necessarily. It's about feeling what's going on. It's about exploring. I'm bringing my feet back to the floor, back into the supported bridge. This supported bridge is interesting. The bridge itself is an interesting energetic posture that grounds us into that first chakra and then allows it to be open to allow the fluidity of the water of the second chakra. And it's balanced and down into the earth in the heart. So if I didn't have this block here, the right where the heart is between the two shoulders would be what's holding me up. So just for a moment, I'm going to press into and take the block out. I'm going to feel that. I'm going to feel this posture of the bridge, and then finding my breath, inhale and exhaling my vertebra down, lengthening out the legs, stretching the arms above the head. Hold the breath. Oh, hold, and stretch, and then relax. Now you can leave the arms over the head for a moment to relax the shoulders more fully. You can do what you need to do to bring yourself into some neutral posture. For me today, I'm going to take a cushion and put it under my knees and come into Shavasana. I'm going to take the strap, I'm going to put it over my eyes. to relax the eyes. Then breathe and relax. A gentle, comfortable breath. Notice every part of the body that touches the floor and every part of the body that doesn't. Notice the shape that the body makes. Relax the toes and the soles of the feet and up to the ankles, through the back of the leg, up through the calves and into the hamstrings, and then the front of the leg, all the tibialis, anterior, posterior, down the sides of the legs, the iliotibial and down to the peroneus and up through the knee. Relax the knees. The knees are generally relaxed more when they're over a cushion of some kind. So just notice that. And into the quads. Relax the shoulders and notice where the spine touches the floor and where it doesn't. Notice the spine up through until it reaches between the ears. Relax the inner organs. Relax the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw, the ears, the forehead. Fully, completely relaxed. Comfortable breath, no effort. Allowing yourself to feel gravity pull the body down towards the earth. Completely relaxed. No effort. Bring the hands together at your heart and just see the change in shape. Peace, shalom, salam, pak, shanti, pache, mir, maluhia, fuden, hung sang. May we all have peace, and may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. Sending our love and our light out there to circle the globe and connect with all other spiritual beings and ascended masters and all those who are practicing at this time and who also hold this practice in their heart 24 hours a day. May we have peace. Then releasing that. And you can stay right here in relaxation or roll over to your side. Take a moment in the fetal posture. Notice what happens. Feel gravity pull the water of your body down to the earth. Sensitizing yourself to that. Bringing yourself up. Feeling what it is to be partway up. Coming to hands and knees. I'm going to tuck my toes here and just find my way up through downward dog to feel this posture that's so familiar, hanging over for a moment before I come up, and then inhale up and back into my heart. Thank you for being here. Namaste. And I'll come back. Do what I have to do to